Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are at game number 6 of the day. We've got Edward Gaming, what a strange name, I will never get over it, versus AHQ Esports Club. What does AHH? How to say? How to say H in English? H, right? H. Yeah, okay, AHQ. Okay, I forgot. EDG versus AHQ. Alright. Well, let's just take a look at the draft. It's been a long day. I'm getting used to the rhythm of it all. Let's take a look. First pick, Sejuani. Quite strange considering there's a lot of good junglers open. First pick, Sejuani. I remember in LPL it was banned a lot on the red side, so maybe they think it's OP. I think it's a fine jungler. I think there's things that are just as fine. Zaya ban on blue side, and Kalista ban on red side. Rakan also out of the picture. Coach Green Tea. Response is Janna and Gragas. This is the first time we see Janna picked over Lulu, so this was interesting. On the other side there's a response with Lulu Kog'Maw. I like it. iBoy, I haven't seen too much of iBoy. I'm not going to say that I am a LPL expert, but people call him Mini Uzi. So let's see what he can bring to the table on the Kog'Maw. Lulu Kog, we've seen Janna Kog a lot, because in most cases the blue side is the one getting the Kog'Maw, and the response is always like, oh, we will play Lulu Tristana against your Kog'Maw Janna. Well, it seems like Lulu Kog is the combination we'll see this time around. The response is Twitch. Twitch is very interesting as a pick. Like I'm a big fan of Twitch. I thought we would see more of it as the meta kind of transitioned to the situation. I like the fact that Twitch has this very powerful ultimate. He has a very nice build path. He spikes pretty hard early on, and he can do great things. I think the matchup against Kog'Maw is going to be relatively even. I think eventually Kog'Maw is going to be slightly stronger in the shorter trades. On side, he's going to be stronger in those shorter trades, and Twitch is going to look for those all-in team fights. The main thing here is itemization wise, I feel, this is a matchup I haven't seen too much out of, so I would have to like ask some people before I can talk about this in certainty. But the main thing is here is that Twitch has a stealth, he can reposition, and he can kind of dictate when the fights begins, and Kog'Maw would have to kind of save his W for the Twitch, and Twitch can maybe maneuver himself around that. I feel like killing tank-wise, Kog'Maw should be better. For killing the weaker targets like the Lucian or the Kog'Maw, then Twitch definitely should be better. The main thing here is that Kog'Maw has already, looking at the draft, he has Cho'Gath to hit and also a Gragas to hit. We continue on in the draft. Shen is the pick into Cho'Gath. We saw G2 doing this. It seems to be like a fine pick to like have into Cho'Gath. Doesn't seem too terrible. Like Shen still has a strong early game to skirmish with, and he has some mixed damage, so Shen is not a completely useless champion. Like looking at the team comp, it's hard to make use of Shen properly. That's why they rounded off with Lucian, right? Lucian can use his pressure and definitely create something with this. The thing that is a bit strange here is that Westor decides to respond to the Lucian with Corki. I would say that Corki doesn't do too well against Lucian, because Lucian can just dash out of the queue, but Corki with Warlord's Bloodlust can survive almost any lane matchup. So Lucian's gonna have pressure early on, but he's gonna fall off, right? So I think that's important to remember. We fast forward a bit. This is Ardent Sensor City. Ardent Sensor is going to do a lot of work. Very important as well is that there's a lot of magic damage on the side of AHQ, right? Twitch is the only physical damage dealer, and the bot lane matchup is going to dictate a lot of things in this game. Like if Twitch is behind in this game and the enemy team is stacking a bunch of MR, like if they're buying MR, if they're buying this adaptive helmet, and they're buying a ninja tabby that is good against Corki as well, then I think they're going to be very happy with their item path. They're happy with their build path. The main thing we need to look out for in this game is how bot lane is going to go. We need to keep a close ear on the Kog'Maw Twitch matchup, how it shifts, how it goes back and forth, and also what is going to happen in mid lane, because Lucian, I think Scout is going to be the center of all attention for EDG, and Mako is very good at pressuring together with Clearlove through mid, and I think with the Shen up top, everything is centered around playing around the Lucian and making sure that he can pressure onto all the lanes. So this is something we have to pay attention to. Ziv is a top laner that I am a fan of. I like him. I think he's quite good. I always hope that he is the one that goes to Flash Wolf someday, but he seems to be happy over at AHQ. I think the main problem with Westdoor as a player, I think in the past, his picks were like a novelty, which were fine, right? They were kind of strange, like the Fizz and the Twisted Fate, and it worked because most teams, like at that time, when it worked the best, the game was still relatively at a young stage. I feel like we're finally taking shape at a place where people are reaching a closer level, that closer. What am I trying to say? Closer to perfection. You know, let's say in season 1 we played maybe 10% of the game. You know, the 10%, like season 1 World Championship, what people did back then was completely useless. Right? People just laning, and people like being good at last hitting was like a selling point. Oh, this guy is really good at last hitting and shit like this. You know, like the game was like at a baby stage, you know. And at this point, you know, season 2, it was about coordination. It was like all about just going at the same time, like TPA won worlds. Season 3, it was all about Faker's raw skill and carrying games, right? Season 4 was all about that was when team play came in, right? It was Samsung. They came in, and team play came into the picture, and all of a sudden they did these things with timings. The support and the jungler was roaming together, and this was revolutionary. And at the same time, Samsung had like very good individual players. Season 5, SKT, the return of SKT, they had like a mix of everything. They pushed the team play and the coordination to another level, and then SKT continued to do the thing, you know. And now we've reached a point where having cheesy picks, sure, it's fine and all, but most of the teams are prepared for this, you know. Like most of the players are so well-rounded that you can't really cheese them. I'm talking about the cheese picks of Westdoor so much, but he's playing a Corki, you know. That's not cheese at all. That's completely fine by anyone's standards, I think. We continue. Doran Shield also makes it a lot easier for Corki to remain relevant. Over in LPL, they really love their Lucians, they love their LeBlancs, they love these type of picks quite much. These early game explosive carries. Lulu is also a champion that synergizes very well with Lucian in mid game, and Ardent Sensor abusers are definitely a thing. They are not bad at all. Whoa. Both junglers did full clears. Not a big deal. Topside Crab in favor of Clearlove. Clearlove is just basing, but then he decides not to. Oh my goodness, what the hell? What the hell just happened, man? Did he know, or? That's ridiculous. I would have been so pissed, man. That's funny. That's great. Alright, so Clearlove gets both crabs, so he's slightly ahead of Mountain. This is quite crazy. Let's see now if where the junglers go out of their base. It looks like they're just going for their camps. Clearlove on his wolves, and then we'll not go for the Gromp. Trying to set something up top lane. The Shen taunt is very viable for that. Bot lane, good base for iBoy. Like we see that right now, Lulu and Kog'Maw are having an advantage bottom. It seems that Lulu is shifting this matchup in favor, and we see two relic shields on both ADs, which means that you know, This bot lane matchup is in favor of Kog'Maw because they got the first base. Even though they didn't show it much, we can see that Kog'Maw and Lulu are definitely stronger at this point in time. Sejuani didn't commit to the gank. She's gonna do Gromp and continue on to her Raptors. Gragas is doing something very similar. He did his Golems for the first time though, and went on to his Raptors and is going to continue on downwards into bot lane. I'm hoping that we will see some kind of clash here in mid lane very, very soon. Bramble Vest Corki. Bramble Vest Corki. Okay. This game is no longer about Corki reaching Trinity Force. It's all about Corki reaching that Thornmail. No, I think this is bad. I think this is really, really bad. You have so expensive items that you need to buy already, and like Lucian can just pretty much outpush you now. Like you don't have mana, you don't have Sheen. You're gonna be very reliant on a blue buff. I don't like this Bramble Vest. Sure, it's fancy and all against Lucian, but I think it's kind of pathetic. Like if you want to buy Ninja Tabi, okay. Like buying straight up Ninja Tabi here wouldn't be too bad, but I don't know. That would have been bad too, you know. He needs to commit to Phage and buy maybe a cloth armor maximum. I don't know. I don't like it too much, man. What is he doing? It's not like Bramble Vest counters the enemy team or something, you know. It just doesn't. Good trade from EDG on the bot lane. Game is looking quite bright for EDG so far. Whoa. Let's take a step back. Shouldn't have fast forward that. So no pressure in mid lane at all. Allows Scout to do a bit whatever he wants, and that also transitions into Clear Love. Clear Love did the path into bottom, and Mountain is just basing here, which is kind of dangerous, right? He's not really supporting anything. He's basing and going to his red buff. The main thing here is that Sejuani has a bit of a better clear. Like her path ended up being better for the situation. I want to take a step back here. I just want to remember exactly what Sejuani did level 1. Because it has passed my mind now for some reason. Blue, Gromp, Crab, Raptor. Wait. Okay. I confused myself so hard. I didn't understand what happened. He's just doing the red buff into top side clear and to bot side. Like this clear puts him perfectly on the map for the situation that kind of was lined up. He did all his camps except his wolves. Okay, now it makes sense. Sorry, I missed this. We go forward again. Sejuani is doing her clear, which means she did Gromp. She wolves, Gromp, Raptor, blue spawning second. He started red, coming into here, using the mid lane pressure to go into bottom. Shen ultimate is up. Cho'Gath TP is saving it, of course, because he has to. Cho'Gath is walking back to lane. He has a catalyst. Bottom is getting Doven. Now we're here again. AHQ on. Whoa. That was absolutely crazy. Did Gragas even base? Yeah, he based and walked straight bottom. Cho'Gath has TP. Oh, Shen got cancelled. Yeah, that's the issue. Mouse, he was not hiding. And then Cho'Gath got cancelled. But maybe that was for the best. Alright, so Shen ult got cancelled right here. That would have been like a necessity. Maybe they dove too soon as well because Lucian is not in the mix at the beginning of this clash. Twitch also gets away in the stealth. I think they rushed this a bit too fast. And Shen was in no position to TP. Like he just got cancelled straight up. In that scenario, would it be a good play if they had to wait a bit? Like Gragas would be closer. It's not even 100% sure that Gragas based, right? I'm not even sure if they saw Gragas basing. Gragas goes into base now. Yeah, they don't know that Gragas is in base. So this play was very risky from EDG. All things considered, they would be in a 4v5 situation at max. And is that good enough? That's what you need to ask yourself. Is it good enough? Meiko flashes, is forced to flash in the wrong direction. They dove, they had a number advantage, but Lucian is just not participant here. He comes in ease, and he wasn't there in the beginning of the clash. And it's important that all this time you have under the turret when you are of course diving and tanking the turret, you need to make use of this time and make sure that everyone gets their DPS in. So this was an unnecessary risk, I would say. Cho'Gath also had TP to respond to Shen ult, and maybe it was just too soon to do this type of play. Shen ult doesn't come out. Scout comes in too late. For the play they committed to. Barrier saves Kog'Maw. HQ now ahead. Corki also farmed mid the entire time, but he's still 20 years behind. So that's a phenomenon. Corki package is up. Shen halfway cooldown. What is this? I think it's like almost 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. It's like 80 seconds, 60 seconds. Like, I think it's 3-minute cooldown on Shen ult. We will see. At this point in time, you know, Kog'Maw and Lulu has no summoners. Clearlove is also level 6. Gragas is pretty fed now at this point, but that shouldn't be the biggest deciding factor now. EDG just need to respect the fact that Westor has package and a Bramble Vest. The main thing here with Cho'Gath Shen matchup is that Shen needs to get some value out of his ultimate. Like, the longer the game goes on, Cho'Gath is going to be more and more useful than the Cho'Gath, which is, of course, you know, something needs to happen. And the main thing here is also the fact that they have a Lucian as well, so it kind of matches stylistically that Lucian also needs things to happen, because in mid lane there's a Corki that will outscale him. The thing is, with Corki buying Bramble Vest, he kind of scales much slower. He delays his Trinity Force by a lot, and I don't think it's necessary at all. Like, Phage is such a good defensive buy in the first place. You know, you're buying Ruby Crystal, and that should be enough for you to survive, right? You're running Doran Shield, you're running Bloodlust. There's a lot of things that you have in your favor already for you to survive a lane against Lucian, and then you buy Bramble Vest on top of that. I'm sincerely disappointed. Ninja Tabi on Kog'Maw, I like it. I think it's good against Twitch and the Corki, and that's going to be the main DPS source. I think it's super good against Twitch. We got Blade of the Ruined King finish on Lucian as well in the mid lane. I want to see more action around mid lane. I want it to be pressured, pushed, and I want to see that EDG maintain these pink ward positions that Corki is roaming around right now. As long as they don't do that, then their bot lane is going to be stuck in bot lane. Very interesting item path from Twitch. Like, he straight up rushed Hurricane. I don't know if it's good. I've never seen it before. I can't imagine that it's the best thing you can buy. I think, you know, sure, you can apply your stacks of poison fast, but your skills still scale with, you know, raw damage. Assuming the next thing you'll buy is Warlords. I mean, not Warlords, but Blade of the Ruined King. Twitch is basing down bottom. Massive CS advantage for Lucian in mid. Very inactive game, you know. Like, I had to stop for a second and just think about what's going on, and people are just farming away. I think we can just fast forward this a bit until we reach the next action point. Sejuani's in base. This could be a situation where Kog'Maw and Lulu also swapped into top lane, but that is kind of counterproductive when you're the one running the Shen. Right now, AHQ have a position to start the Drake. The enemy bot lane base later than they did, so they have a priority here. A lot of attack speed on the Twitch. You can apply those poison stacks very, very fast. Corki is slowly reaching his 24 spike. But Mountain is playing quite well, I believe. He's pressuring around the right times and is maintaining the pink wards around mid lane. I feel like Clearlove and Scout could be more effective together and play better together here than they are actually doing. See Clearlove now showing up around mid. The main thing here is that I have these mosquitoes running around. Scout doesn't mind taking this trade, of course, because he has Blade Rune King. He's going to lifesteal on the wave. Clearlove is now playing around mid lane, as I hoped he would do. As long as Shen ult is not on cooldown, then Mouse is not going to be happy. Very important now that EDG become active somehow. Scout is taking the plant and going to run back into mid lane. HQ are unhappy with the fact that they didn't get an Ocean Drake. Oh, is this an ultimate from Scout? Maybe he can force a flash, which he does. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Sadly, this is at a time where his bot lane is in base and he can't pressure it with anything. He's gonna take his blue buff, take the next wave, and maybe they can do a play, maybe into top lane. Clearlove is basing though, so his trade into mid lane is just giving him a CS advantage, or expands his CS advantage more than anything. I think Corki here is gonna miss a couple of CS. I think it's 1 or 2. Maybe he's even in time for everything. Well, he did in fact miss CS from the previous wave. I think that was maybe 4 CS. So yeah, he lost CS for that bad trade that he took. You could also call it good trade that Lucian took. Oh, it's the Broxa play. EDG going for the Broxa play. Feeling like the game is in a stalemate. I think this is a fine play to do, but Mountain seems to sniff it out. Seems to be well aware of the fact that this is a possibility. What other possibility do they have? Like Corki in mid lane is in base. This could be a gank that they are doing. The pink ward was placed, and maybe Mountain should have went all the way around and went into the pink ward bush and his own side of it. But playing it safe like this as well, when Corki is getting pressured in mid, is completely fine to do, because they don't want to commit into anything. They just want to stall this out and make sure that their bot lane doesn't die while Corki here is on the siege in mid lane. Corki did reach his Trinity Force though, but he's still a lot weaker than Lucian in the 1v1. Lucian can zone him off and still outtrade him in the mid lane. You can see here, here's another commitment. We see the Lucian ultimate very close. Westo should die. Unnecessary Shen ultimate. Shen ultimate got cancelled again, I believe, from Cho'Gath, but I think Cho'Gath was doing him a favor more than anything. Westo got straight up 1v1. He just got clapped. He got snippety snapped in half. You know, that shield from Shen didn't matter at all. Mouse just wanted an assist, which is, you could say, that's worth it. You know, it's like 175 gold to pass your ultimate. I think that's a fine investment. You know, that's like that's money that no one else would get. Wester falling further behind. He is praying for that late game now, you know. Scout did a very good job of transitioning his pressure into bottom. As we can see after the replay, he just stepped into bottom side, and AHQ needed to just leave the turret because they were outnumbered, because Corki was dead. So straight up outnumbered, and Shen could have matched the TP of Ziv, and it was a very easy play for EDG to pick up. Scout is doing some heavy work here in mid lane, and you have to ask yourself about the Corki pick and the Bramble Vest and everything that is happening here in mid lane. Is Chowie the savior of AHQ? Because I think Westor is quite disappointing. take a step back. We see some action going on. Package on West door. Cho'Gath is back in bot lane. Kog'Maw and Lulu is up top. Lucian doesn't get pressure in this point because Corki has package and Twitch and Janna are in mid lane. Main thing here is that Twitch and Lulu Kog'Maw Lulu could potentially take top wave, but it's also not the safest thing to do because of the package. iBoy, oh my goodness, iBoy, what a flash, man. Holy moly. Krylov, I think he misplayed, he ulted and then he eat. I think he could have done it the other way around. Scout comes in now, people are going very low. Twitch is killing everybody, man. Twitch has no ultimate now. iBoy. Scout has so many stacks. He's dead. Holy moly. Is this just the most OP Twitch build or what? Gotta try myself some Hurricane Twitch, man. Look at this stuff. So let's reassess the situation from a macro standpoint, right? Mid lane, Lucian is getting pressured. Sejuani needs to rush up top, and they need to try to clear the wave before the bot lane comes from mid lane into top lane. It's hard for EDG to do because there's a ward behind them, and also Corki has package, so they are committing to a fight. Lucian is going to be late into this one because he was out prioritized by the enemy bot lane. Twitch and Janna are going to be there first. So this is the situation. iBoy gets TP'd on behind. Shen also TPs. We see the situation here as I think Sejuani could have procced her stun without using her ultimate. The thing is, when you ult with Sejuani, you can't stun twice. But if you stun first and then ult, you can stun twice. And I think that could have made or broke the difference here to kill Cho'Gath. We continue, because he ulted her when she was in a stun. So he could have queued and applied his stacks, and it would have been a lot better, I believe. Scout comes in. Twitch is doing a lot of damage here. You can see like he's doing work. He pops his ultimate. He's doing a shit ton of damage. He's trading some blows with the Kog'Maw that is eventually going to lose his W. Scout goes in with his fully stacked fervor, and boom, it's a 3-4-4 situation, and all kills go to Twitch. You know, the main thing, you know, I remember this time, you know, in Vitality, we were like, the thing, like, there was this time where Twitch was meta, right, and everyone played Twitch, and it was like, I remember, like, my players were like, yeah, Twitch is not good, guys. He's only good if he gets random kills. Well, now he got some random-ass kills, and he's about to take over the game. You know, I talked about how important the ADs are in this game, and you know, the fact that he's the single AD champion in this matchup, and he has all the kills, forces the enemy to buy like inefficient armor. Like, it's efficient in the sense that Twitch is very fed, but looking at AHQ's team comp, they have a lot of magic damage as well, so it's becomes a rough situation. And comes in here with his Ardent Sensor and just ults and pops off. Very, very powerful champion Twitch. This was another one of those champions I said like in the Daily Mail interview that I think we will see more of. Wow, crazy amounts of damage. Cho'Gath, you useless dog. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? Alright. At this point in time, you know, Shen has TP advantage, so Cho'Gath is going to want to push in this wave and then group up with his team. All eyes on Twitch now. Like, Twitch is just going to carry this game. Like, you can just... Janna's just going to shield him, and he just needs to just open on any squishy target. Like, the beauty of Twitch, right, is that he can kill Lulu very fast. He can kill Lulu very, very fast, and whenever whenever Twitch is in the game and then he is against these weak supports that aren't melee supports, then Twitch really shines. His weakness is playing against an Alistar, his weakness is playing against a Braum, where his opener can be completely denied, right? And Lulu can't really do much about his opener. She needs to just stand there and take it, you know? And Twitch is very happy in a game like this. After Janna finishes Mikael's, or even Redemption, then Twitch being locked down is going to be a problem of the past, you know? It's going to be a problem of the past, like communication. There was a time where people communicated with smoke rings, and there were time when, like, imagine there's like raining outside. It's raining outside, and you don't know how to contact your buddy. You know, let's say your buddy, he lost his stone axe, and you found it, and you want to like call him, and he just doesn't see your smoke rings because it's raining. That's the problem of the past, right? Same way, whatever I talked about before is a problem of the past. I'm going insane a bit. I'm sorry. We continue. Cho'Gath TP is coming online again. Shen didn't really use his advantage for anything. Cho'Gath did in fact group after he pushed out bottom. Bless you. We continue here. Cho'Gath is now roaming into mid lane, which he has to do, right? When he doesn't have TP, he needs to just push out bottom and then roam into mid lane. That's the opener from our Twitch buddy here. Oh wow, Kog'Maw is not taking any damage at all. No damage at all. Holy moly. Kog'Maw was just standing there and taking it. Ninja Tabi doing work. Well, actually, the armor is doing work. He just went heavy armor. He just took a book. He just took a page out of the Westward book and just bought himself some more armor. He's tanky. He's so tanky here. No, he's just like, he's out DPSing a Kog'Maw, like a Twitch that is 5-1. Very smart buy. It seems like it paid off. The barrier was very effective with all that armor. The Ninja Tabi are very effective at this point in time. Kog'Maw doesn't have his flash. Very well played from iBoy. Very stone cold. Holy moly. That was crazy. I thought, like, when I saw this, I thought he was just going to melt. But then I didn't, I realized I haven't checked his items. So he has this attack speed reducing vest. And Twitch is just as surprised as I am by his item choice. And it works out just fine. Twitch gets killed, and the question is now if EDG can just go to National. It might be quite hard because Corki has package, and Corki, even though he bought a Bramble Vest in the beginning of the game, that he can still do things right now. He's going to reach a point where he finishes his rapid fire cannon or static shiv, and he's going to be useful and relevant in this game, regardless of his Bramble Vest buy. Very interesting situation there, how iBoy just stood there and played it out perfectly. I think that's usually what's the most impressive thing about the LPL players, how mechanically gifted they are and how willing they are to take some of these fights. And it was very well played. Like I don't know how many autos he took there without losing any HP, but it was plenty. I think it was plenty of autos. There was the barrier, Shen ultimate, Lulu shield, and Lulu ultimate. So sure, there was a lot of things that was deflecting damage, and on top of that, all the armor that he bought. But he's going for the Randuin's Omen, which is, you know, to be fair, you know, he's playing against Corki that is going to stack crit. He's playing against Twitch that is going to stack crit, and it's not too shabby, you know. It's not too shabby considering like barrier is very effective with all of this armor, and also the wild growth is very effective with this armor. And it's not like Kog'Maw is not doing enough damage with only 2 items. I think that's the beauty of Kog'Maw. We will see more as we continue. I am impressed by this, you know. Genja was just right all along. So right now this game is all about that Baron dance. You know, these teams are death ball compositions that rely on just having owning space and forcing around Nashor, forcing the enemy team to come into you. Shen is just going to farm her out against Cho'Gath, and this is just going to be a waiting game for us. We're going to wait, and Twitch just wants to get more items, Corki wants to get more items. It's a rapid fire cannon, not a static shiv. So we will see. We can just kick back and relax and press the forward button every now and then, and it will all be good. Corki is slowly catching up to Scout in CS. I'm betting that Scout is pissed off about that. You know, Scout destroyed him in lane. Very much so. Destroyed him very, very hard. Main thing here is for Corki and for Lucian, it's going to be hard for them to trade autos with the main AD carries here, Kog'Maw and Twitch. I don't know how they will be too impactful in this game. Like, they won't be super impactful in how this game shapes up. It's all about Twitch and Kog'Maw at this point. And Kog'Maw has some heavy shields to back him up. Janna has that too. I feel like the main issue here is that trying to compare the tools that both teams have to catch these ADs, and it's very hard to imagine that anything else but a Sejuani ult catching the Twitch. But then we have the Mikaels ready to go, also Quicksilver Sash. Maybe this Quicksilver Sash buy was a bit of an overkill. I don't think it was that necessary when you have the Mikaels ready already. And that is the big question here, the QSS, because it's a competition of who dishes out the most damage right now, yeah. And itemizing, of course, DPS is going to matter in the long run. That's why we're complaining so much about the Bramble vest that Wester was buying. My nose is itching so much because I feel like I'm contracting like a bit of a cold. But that's why I'm doing this all the time. EDG seem to maintain control around mid lane. I feel like they can send Scout up top lane and keep him there for a longer bit and make him hit the top tower. I don't think they necessarily need to group as hard as they are doing. They can send off Lucian in the side lane and make him get some pressure. AHQ now are kind of out of position now for the mid lane. If EDG somehow recognize this, then maybe they can create something better. But Corki is up top and they spotted Gragas, so they can force her on mid lane. Not sure if Mouse should be doing this this one right here, but either way a tower should fall right here. Unless Corki and Gragas are deciding to engage here. Yeah, okay. No turret falling. My bad. EDG are just happy with the Drake. Interesting play from AHQ though. I want to kind of cut this down into pieces. So Cho'Gath is just moving into mid while Corki is pushing out top to compensate for the fact that Corki is in top lane. Gragas is in position to be a part of the situation and comes from a good angle. So I think, yeah, it's well played from AHQ for sure. We continue. All right. It's all about who has the guts to just start Nashor. It really is. The main thing here is I feel like AHQ is going to hit harder later on in the game, and that is going to be the deciding factor. Like, they're very happy with having a crit AD going all the way with his items, and you know, even though Kog'Maw is very powerful at killing tanks and such, like his items, they fall off because they don't crit, and there's no Last Whisper, there's no Void Staff, there's nothing you can buy to really give you that oomph. And Twitch is at that point where he has the big Last Whisper, and he's finishing up his QSS item. He has that 80% crit, and he's going to do more damage than Kog. Like, now the armor that Kog bought earlier is going to matter less and less. Alright, here we go, the big fight. No IE on our dear friend Corki. Lucian is half health. We have a big package. Wester jumps in. I think it might have been too wild. Wester might just die here. He flashed out. Scout died. Wester, he went for the package. Valkyrie, he flashed over the wall. He was very low on HP. Mountain gets away as well. Oh, iBoy doesn't have W. My goodness, this should be Nash. Let's take a look at the engagement. So Scout didn't burn flash. He had to E away. He was half HP. Good package now. Very, very well played from Mountain. Loving what Mountain brings to the table in this game. It is an MVP. I would vote for him. I wouldn't go for the KDA thing here. So the play from Mountain is very, very good. Secures him the kill on Scout. And after that, it just seems like the fight is over because iBoy activated his W, Corky baited his W, and then he was out of position, had to move forward, and Scout died during this time, and all his teammates had to walk out. And now iBoy's W is off, like it's off now. It's off, and he needs to just walk away, and that means that the situation is won by AHQ. Okay. Let's reassess now if EDG could have just done something better. I just think it's the fact that Scout gets caught here and nothing else. Like Mountain just grabs onto him. Scout could have flashed here, and this is just a bad fight for HQ to take. I mean EDG to take, because they are pretty much surrounded in this area, and the angles that EDG are in are just much better. And they tried to Chenault, and Chenault is in the mix, and it was just not a good situation for EDG to be in. EDG just had to flash the engage of Mountain there, because EDG definitely got caught. Like here, Scout got caught right now. Like HQ are forcing into River here, and they're not showing any fear. And right now, bam, there is where the Scout flash needs to be for this to be remotely close. And Corky was pretty deep. The package is doing a lot of work. Clear Love is pretty low, and right here, Kog'Maw doesn't have W. That means a Nasher for AHQ. Twitch is showing up big. There was a period of time where Kog'Maw was stronger with his armor items and his items in general. But I feel like EDG was just too scared to force. Like the Last Whisper is huge on Twitch, and the fact that he's full items, I think he just does more now than the Kog. He did more before as well. Okay. AHQ should be able to take it home with his Baron, right? It's hard to stop the siege. EDG doesn't have the greatest wave clear, and at this point you can ignore towers and engage battles if you want to. iBoy needs to play very aggressive and needs to auto the right targets here for them to go off the turret. So it's all about speeding up the Kog'Maw, the battle tank, and hoping that it works out. AHQ don't need to force anything, right? Because Westor is in mid lane, so they're not forcing anything. Janna has Mikaels here. She dies though in the stun and is very, very low with the Twitch. Gets the redemption. Kog'Maw flashes in. That's the feast on the Kog'Maw. Gets away. Corky is still alive. Corky has big crit. He has a lot of damage to distribute here, but not enough to get anything through. He needs a Void Staff before he can start killing these tanks. Okay. So it's really bad that Janna is the one that gets the ultimate. Like, she's just standing there and chilling, and she definitely should have been. Like, she's the only target that can't get ulted. The other people, like, she has Mikaels and she has QSS. Like, if anyone just takes this one, then it's fine. You know, if Cho'Gath just eats it and it's all good, then, you know, if Janna could... You could argue as well that Janna should be standing behind her team and not just standing. Because she just legit, she queued and just stood in place. Like, she pressed Q and S. Like right now, look, Q and S. And then she moved a bit too late. And then Sejuani is in the mix with the wild growth. It's a rough situation. You know, the Ardent Sensor makes a massive difference, and the items of Janna are huge. Like, her shield is like 500 right now, and she gives a lot of AD, she has a lot of AP. Like, it matters a lot here, and the Janna ultimate is also very important. EDG take it back home. But in general, here, the way the situation is being played, like where Corky is staying in mid lane and sieging, they have no reason to force at this point in time. They are just walking a bit too far and that is it. They get engaged on, and they should have just tried to walk away. EDG as a consolation prize. HQ got the Baron earlier, and EDG got the Infernal Drake, or not Infernal Drake, Epic Drake. So the way this game seems to pan out, it seems like the next Baron will be the deciding factor. EDG, with the help of this dragon, should be able to maintain the space around Baron before it spawns. I'm not sure about the exact timing of when Baron spawns. I don't remember, sadly. Seems like HQ are willing to give up more than just the Baron right now, or get Baron space. They're losing some turrets. Westor used his package. You know, at this point, turrets don't really matter. You know, Shen can tank a turret endlessly almost. And so can Cho'Gath, so can Gragas, and Sejuani too, so the turrets are definitely ignorable at this point. So if AHQ are just respecting the fact that EDG can just force fights, even though there's a turret there, they don't need to care, they can just walk up and completely ignore the fact that there's a tower. The outer towers are the most important turrets anyway, and that's what matters, and nothing else does. We continue forward. Can Twitch carry this game? That is the question. Let's take a step back, because Kog'Maw just got GA'd. There's no vision here. Mountain is using a sweeper, coming from a good angle. EDG are walking up. They don't cover their flank. EDG, iBoy is just getting caught. He has no flash. He gets eaten. He's going to get stuck here. It's very hard to be in place here as a GA. It's a big issue. He gets out. He gets healed. He gets shielded. He gets out somehow. He's 2 HP. Mountain is very, very low. Holy moly, he gets out somehow. He gotta sell his GA and buy something else. I don't know what other item he can buy at this point. It's very hard when you're an AD and there's no penetration item that is effective for you. Corki is also reaching some good breaking points here. Doesn't have a Void Staff yet. I think Void Staff is such a key item on Corki, and you could say the same to reach that 80% crits, you know, with Static Shiv. I think either can be argued. QSS is also a good buy against Sejuani and the Shen, right? So it's not too terrible, his build, right? The main thing here is there's no GA. It got swapped up. The thing is, I just got this comment on YouTube and it just popped up on my screen. It was very distracting. We have whatchamacallit, Hex Drinker now on Kog'Maw instead. Itemization. Hex Drinker is on Lucian, sorry. At this point in time, it's all about just catching the right people for EDG. I think EDG have a positional advantage when it comes to Baron here, and that's going to matter so much. Because even though some of these targets do more DPS than others because of crit chance, etc., it's all about the position around Baron, and right now EDG have an advantage there. They can just start the Nashor, force the enemy team to walk in, but Scout is basing. I don't know if this is correct, because they are just giving up their position right now. And I feel like if AHQ get the position around Baron, then there's no way EDG can take it back. Baron is something that melts very, very fast at this point in the game. Sure, it's a bit stronger because of 44 minutes into the game, but in general, you know, it's ooh, iBoy. Westo gets hit too. No W on Kog'Maw. Need to wait out that cooldown. I don't know, man. I'm sincerely feeling that if either team just stands around Nashor and forces the enemy tanks to walk in, then I feel like it's going to be a good situation, because they can tank the Nashor indefinitely and take no damage from it, and not even break a sweat from trying to start it. AHQ are just trying to use the mid wave to pressure around mid lane. Now I feel like AHQ can once again take the step to pressure on Nashor and force the enemy team to engage. Because as long as they're walking towards Baron, they give up space on mid lane and wait until the next wave spawn. EDG can just take the next wave and put themselves in the similar position. EDG have a big stacking wave up top. Finally, someone decides to start Nashor. They just go for it. They are gambling with the fact that, like not gambling, but they spotted that Janna has no wards left to put, and they just won the pink ward battle because they had more than them. And right now, Mountain's going in. Oh, that was so close. The Baron though doesn't impact the fight that much. It's a bit of stats. 2 QSS instantly drop because of the Shen taunt. AHQ is doing a lot of damage. Anna's, what was that flash, Janna? Kog'Maw has no W. W is gonna come up soon. Big shields. Holy moly, that flash. I don't know if that was a correct decision. Baron in favor of EDG. Can they use this top wave? That is the question. There's a big wave up top. Big wave up top. Let's see what they can make of this. Because the wave up top, if they give it Nashor, it can mean so much here. TP on the wave. No Gragas. I'm questioning here if EDG are just going to go for the end. They can use the top wave for something. Maybe they can just commit all the way. But I think when Gragas spawns, then the HP disadvantage on clear love is going to matter quite much. Let's see now. Yeah, Gragas is back and EDG are just going to go base. Yeah, why not? End the day with a 50 to 60 minute fiesta. Always love that. The 1k damage smite from Clear Love. Perfectly timed at 998. Beautifully done. Very good taunt from Mouse. Forces 2 QSS's. Strange flash here from Janna. Kind of strange flash from Kog'Maw as well. I think it might matter. Like this flash, the fact that he doesn't have a flash will matter so much. Because the Gragas flash will come up first. And it's very important then that EDG will block anything that comes Kog'Maw's way. The fact that EDG have a mid lane inhibitor doesn't matter too much because these super creeps are going to die like flies at this point in the game. It's also a mid lane inhibitor, and that is where the game has been centered around the entire time. Let's see if they can do anything else with the Nashor. It's not much of it is left. The Elder Dragon. The Elder Dragon. I'm getting distracted by these YouTube comments. I need to deactivate this. Hold on. Can I just... There we go. Alright, pardon me. We continue. No flash on Kog'Maw. That is a deciding kind of fact that is in favor of AHQ. Twitch has all summoners. Flash on Corki is super important as well. 2 QSS is ready. No flash on Janna. The main thing here is if they can catch or if they can't catch. And I believe like Mountain has done it once. Why can't he do it before? I mean, do it again. It might be almost certain that it might happen, you know. It's all about Mountain now catching one of the 80s. iBoy is doing very well here. He's quite tanky. He has a lot of armor on him. He has about 200 armor, I would say. A bit less, 180 maybe. A lot of armor with the shield of. I guess Mako doesn't have the what's it called? The keystone to make his shield stronger, so he doesn't necessarily get armor and MR from it. Let's see. EDG are just using the Nash. Nash is gonna run out now in 5 seconds. EDG are in better position for Elder Dragon. The Elder Dragon dies like a fly if EDG just decide to go for it. AHQ will have to face check some bushes here, but they have some good vision placed behind EDG, so that's what matters right here. They have 2 pink wards, and if these are the wards that will secure a path for HQ to walk towards this Elder Dragon, then we might have the deciding fight. 2 Knights Vow, 1 for Corki, 1 for Twitch. Surprised that there is no... what's it called? There's no Zeke's convergence in this game, because I feel like it's quite a DPS race between these ADs that love that Ardent Sensor. Zeke's convergence might be an interesting item to buy in situations like this. The awkward thing though is for Janna, she just doesn't want to randomly pop her ultimate to do more damage, right? Might be the case for Lulu, Scout got caught. He gets Lulu ultimate though. There's no one to hit. That wasn't the fight we were looking for. That wasn't the fight we were looking for, Mountain. So the main thing here is, right now, Kog'Maw is zoning. He's zoning right here. It's very awkward for Twitch because he needs to be very conservative with his ultimate. He can't just pop it just to trade some autos with Kog'Maw. He needs to know that it's a full-on frontal fight, right? And right now, Kog'Maw is zoning these two people here, and they're committing on this angle. And the problem here is this wall is separating this team. And as long as EDG is grouped up and clumped up here, then disengage won't work out because AHQ can't support each other. So if EDG take the fight to this angle, then AHQ can't really join in. They would have to commit face first, just like AHQ is doing, and that would be a bad situation because it's very easy for EDG to just disengage here. So Mountain dies and iBoy is completely zoning. AHQ is trying to do the thing where they group up because they have to. Mountain doesn't survive. Maybe they could have placed the redemption earlier, but Mountain potentially could have flashed too, but in the end, I'm not too big of a fan of AHQ's decision here to try to force a fight. I think they should have been happy with the fact that they have two pink wards to find good angles for them to try to step into this Elder Dragon area and then try to force the fight in this area. And of course, the Elder Dragon is not going to make or break the game. The question is if they can break another inhib. In a case they can, then it might. The big thing here as well is that there's a big death time on Gragas, and basing necessarily not, it's not a necessity anymore. Like basing doesn't matter, like everyone has full items. It's all about just maintaining your pressure and using Elder Dragon to get something. The burn is not that big though because they only have one Drake. AHQ looking for the angles with Anne. EDG broke the base for the second inhib. This is going to matter so much, right? Because if they have two inhibs down, AHQ manages to defend it. Because, you know, the big issue is AHQ kind of need to force the fight here because, like, they need to force and do everything they can to make sure that they don't lose the inhib, because if they do, them contesting Nasha is going to be so hard. And if they play against two inhibs, like if they have lost two inhibs and they play against Nasher, they're going to surely lose the game. So the fact that they are very aggressive in their approach here is very, very good. Let's take a step back and just pay attention now to how much HP EDG is using. EDG is quite low. iBoy has no W right now. He needs to run back. Mouse might have to look for the disengage right here. The Shen W is very OP right now. It's very, very OP and matters so much. You can see how Mouse is hugging close to Kog'Maw and just being ready to W and EDG get away, but the inhibitor still stands to live another day. Very important that inhibitor stuns, and the inhibitor in mid is also spawning, which means that AHQ can safely contest this Nasher without being worried that their base might break in half. Full builds now on most people in the game. Well, most people, it looks like everyone has full build. I'm getting quite, I feel like my mind is starting to get loose, you know, I'm starting to get very tired. We will see now what comes next. It's all about this Baron now. As long as, you know, I'm loving what Mouse does. As long as he W's onto the Kog'Maw, then the Kog'Maw will have free auto attacks and he might actually be able to out DPS these people, which is phenomenal. Like, it's very, very nice to see. There's the engage. iBoy is in the mix. iBoy flashes out. This is crazy, crazy, crazy. He uses his flash already. The tanks are getting hit. The tanks are getting lower and lower, but the Q on iBoy kind of saves the situation for a bit. There's no ratatata on Twitch. Cho'Gath, oh no, what happened here? EDG are out of position. The big problem here is that they are getting split up. Right now, AHQ are walking forward, and it is very important that EDG stay together here. They're being separated by Moses or something. They are being separated because they have to, right? AHQ is taking a step forward, and EDG were not ready to commit to the fight, the full frontal fight here where they step forward. And when this happens, it's, you know, AHQ lands Scout just gets hit by this really important Q, and this could be game winning for HQ right here. Mako dies as well. iBoy without his support is not the same iBoy as before. Bottom inhibitor seems to be dying, but I think Baron is more important at this point in time. Ziv could just leave, and maybe he could defend it. Maybe just survives the inhibitor. It's pretty sturdy. They also have Baron that dies pretty fast. They can recall in time. I think even if he started the recall before they started Nasher, he would be slower. Oh, the inhib dies. That's the thing though, like one inhib doesn't matter too much, but the fact that it's the bottom inhib will slow down HQ in their approach to take home the game. The main thing here is that AHQ have some death timers to work with. There's no mid wave though, so I'm not too sure if they can get a second inhibitor. Maybe they'll just try to run through the entire base, run through to end this game. Might be the case, this might be a possibility. Ziv is TPing in, turret is falling low, one creep is left, iBoy gets caught, no flash on him. Now this is game over. This is definitely game over. Mountain with his barrels is playing insanely well. Very well played. This fight though, this last fight was definitely lost because EDG lost their position. They didn't stay grouped. They weren't ready to commit to the fight. You know, I want to go back and take a look at that. It's very interesting. Alright, right here. So iBoy has to flash out. EDG are taking the position forward, they're rushing forward, which is very good. But right now it's important that they, like Scout needs to group up here and go to iBoy and group up with his team. But he's not really finding the angle. Right here they need to stay together and make sure that they can run the same direction. The other play is that they run upside, and that's also a possibility. Maybe the play here is that they just run towards Nasher and they just maintain it. I felt like the usage there of the shielding item was also very poor. They could have definitely found a situation where they could have ran towards Nasher here and play around the fact that Nasher is up. There is no ultimate on Twitch, and I think that's really key. Like, they forced the Twitch ultimate, and right now disengaging is not a bad idea. They could just walk up straight here and walk out of the situation and be unscathed. Twitch with no ultimate is not going to pressure them at Nasher, and the fact that they got cut off is a big issue, and the fact that Scout got caught with flash up is also a big issue. AHQ end the game beautifully. I thought they didn't have enough minions to do it, but at this point in the game all it takes is one creep. I definitely could feel my fatigue in this game, and I'm sure you guys could see it too and feel it too. In this game there's not much macro to analyze. It's all about positioning in team fights. When you reach that point in the game, it's all about positioning and being at the right place at the right time with your teammates, being around Nasher and playing together as a team and tanking properly and just positioning in team fight in general, right? So that is what I tried to focus on in this game. This was the end of day one. I need to take a nap. Holy moly, I feel like I'm getting a cold at the same time, but I'm gonna go through this challenge strong. I got some comments about the fact that I have audio issues. I really don't know how to change that. Like, my microphone is, I don't know if I should talk closer to it or if I should hold it like an announcer, you know, I really don't know. And maybe I could change the angle of it somehow. Maybe this is better. I really don't know. I'm gonna try to figure it out. Sorry for the audio issues, please. There should be no other sounds, so just boost your Google Chrome and boost your headset. Like, there's no other sound than me talking, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll try to fix it for next time. Thank you very much. I will get EpiPen as well ready for tomorrow. So see you guys. Thank you for today. Peace.